Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wise Kracks. John Orlando here with Mr. Bill Krackomberger in studio. This might be a recent record 4 in a row. You're not a traveling man anymore.
And there's going to be 5 in a row because I will be here next week.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, there's a lot to talk about, and I'd like to spend some ample time on my Dallas Cowboys because they won last week, but
Should have lost.
they should have lost.
Yeah, biggest favorite of the year, 17.5-point favorite. Should have lost it. Just when I think Dallas, we put out a tweet. They're one of the best teams, if not the best team in football.
Yeah.
They proved that they're not. So
You and I were even texting during the game because you were saying like I've been high on Cowboys versus Jets Super Bowl, and you were like, if the Jets come back, the Cowboys were looking strong. This was in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I said, if they come back, 350-1 is looking pretty good.
Right.
The Jets were hanging in the game. With Buffalo,
but that killed the Jets' hopes. I think.
No, the Jets still they
still alive. Maybe.
Yeah, still alive.
They just got to get it together.
Still alive for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So. I don't know about the Super Bowl, but their coach, Salah, thinks that he gave a great pep talk after the game, and they literally played what they call one of the best teams, if not the best team in football, and up in Buffalo in that weather and stuff, and held their own and covered the game.
Yeah.
Look at all the big dogs that covered the games again this week. The Jets +10.
Yep.
Plus 9.5 on the Denver Broncos over KC, covered after losing 27-0. Came back and somehow covered that game. And then, of course, the Dallas game.
Yeah.
Houston, the worst team in football, Houston, beating one of the best teams in football. Almost.
Yeah.
They should have. They really should have.
It was close.
It just goes to prove with the parity this year and what I always say. And it just, any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Here, Jets to make the playoffs. The no is now -190, and the yes is +150. So they're still, less than 2-1 favorite to get to the Super Bowl.
Playoffs.
I'm sorry.
Right, playoffs. Yeah,
Jets.
Now, do you like that bet?
They have a good second half schedule here.
Right.
So I wouldn't be betting the no. That's for sure.
And I was watching on ESPN. I know we did a little research in the pre-show and found so maybe I was just seeing someone's opinion on ESPN, but they were talking about the top 5 teams in the NFL, and they did not have the Cowboys. They listed the Chiefs, obviously, the Niners, the Bengals,
I got to
Vikings.
Everyone has opinions, and everyone has something else. Also, they say.
Yeah.
Listen. Monday night, I was watching a couple of videos. I usually don't. I'm not really I like to learn. I like to learn new things, and I'm not saying I'm above learning because there are different podcasts and different things I can learn. But someone told me to watch something with 3 people on it, and I watched it. And it's a shame how much bad info is out there.
Really?
Amongst the media, sports betting media. I can't
amongst the experts.
They literally just killed more people than many diseases. It's a shame that what's out there. It really is. I watched someone give out props that didn't matter if they won or lost. There was just nothing behind them. Like they heard someone else say it on a show, and then they said, "Oh, I should say that same thing."
Right.
And that's how they make their career. And they don't put no money up. They don't bet their own money.
Right.
They're just telling you what to bet.
Yeah.
That's really who I want to follow, right?
Right.
Give it a break.
Yeah. In the 24 hours after their win, the 49ers were the second most bet team to win the Super Bowl at DraftKings.
Yeah. Listen, that Purdy may be real.
Yeah.
Not that he may be real. That when Garoppolo went down, the team was very upset, very down in the locker room.
Right.
Then he announced he may come back for playoffs, and this kid stepped right up, and they knew this kid was a really good quarterback in college, so they thought this kid may step up good, and sure enough, he did. So I'm actually happy for them. I'm happy for them that they actually did because all the wise guys too like San Fran. By the way, they think San Fran, actually may win the division over there. So,
yeah. They look good.
Like you said, to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to give you I'm under team futures now at DraftKings, actually. To win the Super Bowl, they're 9-1 San Fran. I still think it's too low, though. I don't like betting into these pools. Look at this. Buffalo 3-1. Give me a break. How
That's
can you
crazy.
bet Buffalo 3? How can you bet anyone this year under 10-1?
Right.
Buffalo 3-1. Eagles 4-1. Come on.
Yeah.
This is such a heavily juiced pool.
You're looking for at least 10-1, right?
Yeah.
12-1.
5-1. Dallas 8-1. Dallas was 7-1. See how it went to 8-1 after one bad week?
Yeah.
Even though they won the game. Dallas, San Fran, and the Bengals 10-1. I'm sorry, Bengals 10-1, San Fran 9-1. Then it jumps right to 25-1. So there's no really after those 6 teams, there's a giant drop off to Baltimore and Miami.
Right.
25-1. So
I don't know did you see Brock Purdy's father was crying in the stands
I didn't see that.
He threw a touchdown pass.
One of our guys, Robert, said that.
Yeah,
right?
and the crowd started chanting Purdy, Purdy, and they got a quick shot of his dad. That would be a cool moment, right? Yeah.
I mean, you and I are we're tough guys, him and I, until we see a moment like that.
Yeah.
A Kodak or Cinderella
Kittens
or
and puppies,
Kincaid moment, and like those. I can't even watch those commercials on TV. The ones where they make you feel bad about the dogs.
Right. Yeah.
That's terrible.
With Sarah McLachlan does the voiceover.
Just the ones where they
pound.
have they have the small the sad music and they show the dogs in the kennels and caged up. I mean, I want to know what the CEOs of those companies are making. And then I'll be happy to donate.
Right.
I want to know what the CEOs, what the marketing budgets are.
Yeah.
And then you tell me, and then I'll donate.
Yeah.
I want to know where the money's going.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a cash grab more than
I agree.
save the animals, right?
Right.
How'd we get on to that?
We're realists.
Yeah, for sure.
Why do we got to talk about the same monotonous thing that every other show talks about?
I like that.
I like this pick. I like this pick. I like this pick with no substance behind it.
Right.
With no money behind it. They just giving out stuff because they're getting paid to be on a show.
Yeah.
That's not us. Talk about anything.
Well, here's something everyone is talking about that I definitely want to talk about, which is the Bucks, the Buccaneers, and Tom Brady. They're just awful.
I'm not in a good mood today, as you could tell.
I like it though. I like when you're feisty.
Going after
Bill. I like
everybody.
it.
And Brady's next. That's why I said that.
Yeah. So
enough's enough, Tom. Give us a break. We don't want to know about your little girls that are trying to come after you on Instagram. We don't want to know about your divorce and how upset we are for you and your $1 billion, you and your ex. Give it a break, will you?
Did you see the new girlfriend though?
Is it a girlfriend or just a girl that was on?
I don't know, but
chasing him down.
She's a looker. She's a looker, Bill.
Have they been together?
I think so.
Really?
I think so.
Okay,
that's a good question. I don't know. The Bucks are 3-9-1 against the spread this season.
Terrible.
Can you imagine?
Terrible. Robert put a good thing in there, which you probably didn't know either. It just came out, really. Does Brady leave Tampa for greener pasture?
I can't even imagine. I never would have thought that, that another
Brady,
season was on the table.
And Robert's right. Brady actually may go to the Raiders from what I'm hearing. They're looking at him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Derek Carr, another joke, making $100 million. I'm mad at the Raiders. The Raiders knocked me out of my suicide pool or our survivor pool here.
Yeah.
We're down to 71 people. You could divide the $6.15 million by the 70. It was like over $85,000 the entries are worth. I had one entry, winning 16-3. Didn't watch the game. But even if I watched the game, I wouldn't be one of those guys that start throwing things. And people like throw things through TVs and but I know they're up 16-3 with 3.5 minutes left and lost the game.
How's that even possible? It's not so bad.
It's not.
I was disgraced to even wear the beanie today. But it matches with the hoodie so good, Bill. Look at the matchup of the green and the green. It's such a good.
Oh, I didn't see the green.
It was so good.
I thought it was just like weathered.
Yeah,
like old.
This is a support the troops.
Nice
Raider beanie.
I sure do.
I'm
sure
rocking
do
the
that.
troops.
I want to say
supporting the troops. I'm not supporting the Raiders. I'm supporting the troops today.
I support the troops. I support the.
I know you do.
Absolutely. I stand for that flag every time.
Yeah.
And guys that don't, I can't stand.
You're not a kneeler.
No.
I'm with you.
No. Robert, don't even think about cutting that either.
Here's a crazy thing. A $100 bettor would now be down $490 if you bet every money line dog this season.
Great stat he found.
Great stat, and then
I'm giving Robert way too much credit today. But then I'm going to say Brandon did that, our other guy. Give Brandon some credit here.
I like that. Yeah. But then you came right back and said what?
Yeah, the same thing. Conversely, on the dogs.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, I'm going to say that the betting the money line dogs. So betting the money line favorites maybe probably worse.
Yeah,
probably worse.
Yeah,
Robert said all me. Yeah. So I mean, absolutely. This is the reason why the sports books make what they make.
Right.
I mean, both sides. You could bet both sides you lose. Think about that. It's like playing at a poker table, a 1-2 poker game. Everyone's sitting around for 8 hours. All 7 people in the game can lose, and the house can win. That's what happened. That's what this situation is.
Yeah, you're right.
It's hard to happen. I understand.
Sure.
Game, but that can theoretically happen.
Absolutely.
Because of the juice.
Yeah.
And that's what this situation is.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Lines move so fast. We're talking.
Talk about that.
The reason why we're saying that. So right before we came on air, I made a call to a buddy of mine in the casino, and I said, "Hey, are you at such and such casino? Because I know this game's going to move a couple points on a total, and they have the best total." And John and the guys were listening, and they were like, "Wow, that was pretty interesting, Bill." And then I turned the screen to you, which I can, turn to you again. It's no longer red, but it's black now. It's all. Every line is moved 2 points, and they were kind of amazed by that, and maybe it's just a part of my everyday life, really, because I'm beating a line move, even though I'm on air now. I do know that this is going to move. Someone said something to me, and that's just part of the business. It's the reason why sportsbooks don't like me, though. I'm beating them to a line, like when I bet like Stations Casino. I bet them. I made a bet, and the line moved 2 points. And they came chasing after me out of the casino and said, "Hey, whoa, what are you doing? We need that ticket back, or we're not allowed to bet with us again."
That is crazy.
Not allowed to bet with us again. I said, "Well, fine, I won't bet with you again." And the bet lost, by the way. Yeah. So, but it doesn't matter win or lose. They just don't like. They don't like
having an
advantage,
a perceived advantage.
Well, why can't you guys hire people that are competent enough to get the same information that I get?
Right.
It's not my fault that I beat you to the line.
Right.
Don't hire a vanilla bookmaker.
Right.
That just let's not call them bookmakers because they're not bookmakers. But don't just hire a vanilla staff that just sits there and does nothing and pushes a button and follows the Don Best screen or follows Circa on the line moves. Yeah. Hire someone that you think can dig up good information and get the line moves ahead of me. That's what you should do then.
Right.
Or take the bet from me and overmove the game. Don't penalize me.
And is it that,
we love winners? Is their billboards around town?
Right.
Yeah, that's another.
And is it that big of a deal, even if you win the bet? Like, what were you betting? Like $3, $4, $5 or whatever it is. Like, why is that even a big deal?
And by the way, even if I'm betting 10, which I wasn't, even if I'm betting 10,000, which again I wasn't, I'll use 1,000 because it's simpler math. If I'm betting $1,000, at most, I have a 3% edge. At most,
right.
3%'s giant. So, at most, 3%, think about that, guys. That's 30 grocery dollars. You're throwing someone out of your casino, going to get the bad press from someone like myself. I'm not trying to say I'm Big Joe press, but you're going to get press if you throw me out for something stupid like that. Yes, you're going to. Right. You're going to get bad press.
Right.
Is $30 worth that to you?
Right.
Obviously it is. It's personal.
It's crazy.
It's personal.
It is personal.
Because of your incompetence, because you can't hire staff to book the games the proper way, like old school, every single sports book had their own bookmaker, their own line maker. They move on action, not on air. What that means is they take a bet. They just don't follow a screen. These sports books are not going to hire an organ grinding monkey.
Yeah.
All he has to do is look at the screen, grind his organ, play for the crowd, and press a button.
Right.
For you can pay someone $8 an hour for this,
sure.
$10 an hour. You don't have to even pay them anything.
Sure.
And by the way, the casinos don't. Casinos don't pay enough money to the people and the staff.
Right.
The staff that works behind the counter.
Right.
First of all, I wouldn't be able to handle that kind of job. You're taking deal with
it's a lot of pressure.
Deal with a horse better for one day.
Oh my God!
You want to jump over the counter? Guy's betting $3 and he's screaming at you numbers, and then they want to blame you if you put the wrong number.
Or if they come to the window and they make so many pick six combination bets.
Yeah.
And then they get shut out
with 30 seconds left. They bet the last minute,
and then they get shut out, and then they yell at the guys, and it's a lot of pressure because you're handling a lot of money.
And you know what they get? And then John's right. What about that point? You're responsible for your draw, tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm getting $15, and 15's generous. They don't pay 15.
Right.
$15 an hour, another $1 an hour in tips.
Right.
Give me a break. It's a tough job.
And in most cases, they're probably losing half what they make back, right? Because they probably are degenerates too, and they bet.
That's amazing you say that.
Right.
The amount of people that are in the industry
working for free
that gamble on a daily basis and blow their money at something else that people do. They see people every day gambling. It doesn't have to be. I'll relate this to table games. I know guys that are in marketing departments that are big, giant hosts making huge six-figure salaries, so literally, that are making hundreds of thousands a year.
Yeah.
And then you can even lose the lower ones that are making less than that, 75, 80,000. But the ones, I know guys that are making 200, 250 a year, that they're used to seeing that action so much. They wind up going out with their own players to other casinos, watching them gamble. And that, in their mind, when that guy goes home, flies home to his little bank examiners and his wife, and then you're still left with, oh my God, I can't believe he won that kind of money. I could do that.
Yeah.
It's a total farce.
Yeah.
You think, oh, I could do that. Next thing you know, you're gambling away your money. You're ruining your life.
Sure.
I mean, I see it all the time. It's just, listen, it's a slippery slope and a dark path that many casino people, executives, right on down to the dealers and even the janitors go through in this town.
Yeah.
This town's not easy.
Performers too.
This and performers too. It's not an easy life to live.
Yeah.
Living in a gambling town. It's not just Vegas. It's all gambling.
I'm sure you've heard the old Red Fox stories, right?
Red was
Keno?
broke coming after him.
Keno.
It's only a 25%.
And it used to take like an hour to play a Keno game.
Yeah.
Because Red Fox would have so many bets.
Yeah.
Tickets and stuff. Robert put a question in here that's pretty good. Do the books dislike specific bets more than others?
Yeah. They dislike winning bets more than losing bets. So it's literally across the board blanket statement. But, Robert, you're probably right. They probably don't like when a guy like Bill Krackomberger comes up to the window at all, by the way. But if I'm betting a college basketball total, they probably hate that. They get scared to death.
Totals.
Yeah, they always bring refreshed pairs of underwears in the back for when I come in with college basketball totals.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, it's real simple. I say it sometimes. Even I can go to a window and bet as much as I want on an NFL game.
Yep.
How much do you want to bet? As much as you can bring.
You can.
Yes. That's how hard NFL sides are to beat.
Really?
You can bring as much as you want to the window, even Bill Krackomberger. I go to that same window and try to bet a college basketball total, even in the biggest books in this town.
Yeah.
$500.
Really?
That's it. Who's taking more than $500 on a basketball total? Yeah. Maybe Caesars. Caesars actually, the app, they actually do take a dime for me.
Yeah.
But they're taking more than anyone else. Everyone else takes a nickel. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to an exciting UFC fight last Saturday, Bill. UFC 282 at T-Mobile Arena. This card was stacked. Tons of great fights. It was a really exciting night, but it ended up being very controversial. The main event ended in a split draw. And everyone in there that I know saw it to Ankalaev. This guy, he just grinded him out.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought Ankalaev won the
What did
won
Robert
the fight.
think? 'Cause he watches every fight
I think
too.
Robert saw it the same way.
Thing? He'll type
yeah.
this in a second.
43% of the public had Ankalaev. And most of the media had Ankalaev. And somehow, Bill, we left early to beat the traffic. We left early because he was, once he gets you down, you're not getting up. And so he had him down in round 4. And then same thing for round 5. And I told Vanessa, I was like, let's just get out of here and go eat so we don't get stuck leaving here. Like, we already know who won. And I thought he won until my buddy came to dinner after. And he was like, can you believe that was a draw? And I was like, what was a draw? And he's like, the main event. I was in shock.
Wow. And you guys said that a split draw is an unusual thing.
Very unusual. Yeah.
In boxing, that happens a lot.
Yeah. I think in UFC history, maybe 5 or 6 times for a title. And this was for a belt.
Wow.
This was for a belt.
Boxing, you'll get, one judge 1 point one way, one judge 1 point the other way, and the other one comes in with an actual tie, draw.
Yeah.
And that's
Robert had it 49-46 Ankalaev.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So there'll be a rematch.
Yeah. And then I don't know what they're going to do.
I'm going to cut you off, though.
Go.
See, John is a Dodger fan.
Yeah.
Did you notice what he said, guys, out there?
What'd I say?
He left early. This is what the Dodger people do. They leave early.
Come on.
They leave the stadium early.
Oh, come on.
Dodgers are losing 9-6, 9th inning. Let's get out of here, beat the traffic. And then you read the next day, they won 10-9. Same thing. That's your.
Yeah, I'm a beat the traffic guy. I
love
can't lie.
Sorry.
That was mean. No, there's actually no rematch. They booked 2 other guys for the title. Dana Dana didn't want to do a rematch for
Dana's
that.
your guy now.
Dana's my guy now.
You guys are hanging out doing blood tests together.
Yeah. We were at blood tests. We were at Adam Sandler together
nice.
on Friday night.
Oh, cool. How was he? Good?
Went with my dad to see Adam Sandler.
Nice.
Rob Schneider was really funny, too.
Oh, really?
Opened
I like
for
him.
He's great.
I like him.
Yeah, he's great.
Now, your dad, are you friends with Sandler? Your dad?
Through my dad,
Through your dad,
yeah, because my dad did a movie with him.
Did he get to go see him down backstage? Or
Yeah,
something?
we went backstage.
Nice.
Yeah, I posted a real nice photo of me, Dana, Adam,
Nice.
my dad, and
Oh,
Rob
wow.
Schneider. It's pretty
Nice,
cool. And then I
nice.
just took one of just
I
them.
seen Rob Schneider in a store, believe it or not. He was in these Whole Foods. I don't know why.
Really?
Right on the strip, right on the Las Vegas
Oh,
Boulevard.
really? Yeah, if you ever see him again, he loves my dad.
Oh, really?
Tell him you're friends with my dad.
A nice guy.
Yeah, real nice guy.
Yeah.
And then there was more controversy in the co-main event before we even got to the main event. Patty Pimblett fought Jared Gordon.
Right.
And this ended up went to a decision, and Gordon, everyone there thought Gordon won this fight.
So who's
Yeah,
judging
the
these
judges,
things?
man. I don't know. A lot of
I
it
thought
is.
that was just in boxing.
Yeah, well, it's funny
Like,
you say
is
that.
Dana
So
going
you
crazy?
realize there's the same judges in boxing often are the same judges in MMA, which
No.
is yes. Adeline Bird, which is crazy.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yes, the same.
Adeline Bird's not still judging fights.
Still judging fights, judging UFC fights all the time.
There's something. There's
All
a
the time.
big key to this puzzle. Something's missing.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Dana White is letting
Well, it's not up to him. The commission.
the commission's letting Adelaide Bird, who's gotten
Dana
more
complains
fights.
all the time.
She is just, and she actually ran a place where they actually trained people to know how
Yes.
to referee.
Yes.
Her and her husband Robert Bird. And
Yeah.
I just can't believe that Adelaide Bird is doing this. I can't believe. Now I don't know anything about this, so
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still as bad as she was in boxing.
It's terrible. She has screwed
I
our
don't get
buddy
it.
Jake Ellenberger
I don't get it.
multiple times.
I don't get
multiple
it.
times.
I just don't get it.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's crazy. And then there's another guy who I actually know, so I'm not going to talk bad about him, but he's definitely in hot water. People are saying, he needs to be investigated and stuff, which is Doug Crosby. He's
you just said you weren't going to say his name?
Well, no, I said I didn't want to say bad things about him, but he's just.
I will. This Crosby's a thief. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a very nice guy, but he seems to see it the complete opposite as the fans quite often.
Let me ask you though.
But he's also sitting at the
Is there a
cage.
system that we don't know? You and Robert should know it more than anything. You love UFC. Is there a system that we don't know how you judge properly down maybe and your both arms are touching?
And that's the thing.
Is there a system that they know that you guys don't know?
And
like an
that's-
official what's supposed to be judged on that they're
No,
doing
it's
something.
very subjective, so it's like do you especially when it comes to taking people down, a takedown.
Yes.
So if you take someone down and you just control them, so that's the argument with this fight. And that's the
Okay.
argument Patty the Batty's making is, yeah, he controlled me for 6 or 7 minutes, meaning I was down on the ground for 6 or 7 minutes, but he didn't really have any submission attempts. He didn't do any damage to me, so he just laid on me. Like that's not winning.
We
So-
have detailed rules that are public, but they are subjective. Listen, there's blood on the line here. People are betting real
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
I mean, this is scary.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Rogan, I think, has it right. Rogan wants 10 judges. He's like, why 3 judges? Why are we just copying boxing? Let's have 6 judges, 8
Right.
judges, whatever. 7 judges.
Yeah.
I guess you want an odd number, but,
I watch his podcast, by the way.
you do.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, twice a month or something. I'll catch
He's
something.
really good.
I think he's really good.
He's so good.
Yeah,
He's
so-
definitely the GOAT.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
All right, what's this $500 parlay?
So a $500 parlay, Bill, I know you won't believe this, but when I tell you...
Did someone
if
placed
you-
this parlay? Someone actually bet this? Was this a real bet?
I'm sure.
Okay.
If you had Ankalaev, Gordon,
Real bet, you said,
Ponzinibbio, Duplessis, Tapuria, Curtis, and Quarantillo.
Right.
Quarantillo, yeah. A $500 parlay would have returned almost $32,000.
And which is the fight that pushed the main event?
The main event, and then Gordon didn't win. Patty won, but most people will tell you Jared Gordon won that fight.
Okay.
I had all of these right on this list, with the
Right.
exception of I had Patty, so I actually had the winner instead of Gordon. I had the winner, and I didn't have Tapuria. I had Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell winning. So I actually had everyone else right except Tapuria.
Wow.
And I would have pushed on the Ankalaev, but
I got you.
another losing parlay is what it would have been for me.
Yeah, but people don't know about the, like Robert saying, the push here.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you push on a parlay it should revert if it's not a three-way line. I know certain sports I bet it should revert. So people might not know that and throw the ticket away, just like they throw away tickets on. We were talking about the teasers, one side pushing. If you tease two 9-point favorites down to 2, and the first one loses outright by 20, you throw the ticket away, not knowing if the second one lands 42-40. It's a push.
Right.
You get back the ticket. You get your money back.
Right.
Sportsbooks make a lot of money because of push.
Yeah. And in this case, in most cases, you would just get, if you bet 7 fights, it would become a 6-team.
Yep.
Yeah.
It reverts to a 6. That's right.
Yeah. Well, all of this gambling talk, we should mention that the folks need to download the Crack Wins app. It's on Apple. It's on Google Play. You can just go to crackwins.com. Improve your chances of profiting consistently. It's funny. We've talked about it before. So many guys will ask you for picks.
Yeah.
And then we talked about this last week even. They'll ask you for picks, and then he'll go, I don't like that game. Or they'll
I've had
ask
a friend that I was giving games to. And, we were 4-1 at the time. And then I gave him a game. He said, I like the other side of that game. That was the end of the game.
What's the point, right? It's like going to a doctor and saying...
But I mean, what do you do? Do you win for a living? Then you should bet your side.
Right.
No, I lose for a living. Of course you do.
It's almost like there's people that ask you that they just want confirmation that
they just want
right.
Confirmation bias.
Right?
Yeah, they're looking for just confirmation for their side. Instead of just being quiet and taking it in and writing the team down. Even if you like the other side, you want to step in and say something.
Yeah. So we mentioned earlier that the books don't want you to walk in and say college basketball totals, and college basketball and NBA are in full swing right now.
Yep.
So this is a good time for you to be a Crack Wins
totals,
member.
Yes. Had a good week last week, and college basketball is one of the reasons why. Also, NFL props, NFL first half totals. I like to bet a lot of first half totals. Doing good on them, and the bowl season's coming up now. We've really one of our best seasons has been the last couple bowl seasons. So looking forward to that. And we got a brand new app, crackwins.com, brand new site, crackwins.com on the site, Crackwins app. Check it out, and good going.
Especially with bowl season,
bowl season's coming
a lot of good games there, right?
A lot of big stuff in the next 10 days.
Yeah. Very good. And then after you download the app or just go to the website, be sure to head over to WSN.com. And especially if you're a first-time player, if you're listening, you're a first-time player, there is literally free money out there that you can go claim.
I went to dinner last night with some guys. One guy was a giant hedge fund guy. He's ran his own hedge fund now, 32 years. And he was telling me about, that they're both in Jersey, him and his brother. They really don't play with a lot of the books there, but they do love to bet sports. And I told them to go to WSN. I showed them the site, showed them the New Jersey, how they have $1,000 bonus offers. They had no idea. So literally you go to WSN and you click on legal states, and I'll go to New Jersey and you could see the bonuses that they have. And I was showing these guys the bonuses. The Caesars $1,250. So the best way to utilize a bonus like this, though, people don't know, because last night I really thought about what he said last night, the one guy, and he said to me, "Oh, so can I deposit like money and bet and get up to $1,250 on each one, like bet $100 a game?" No. The best way to do this is you deposit at least $1,250. You want to bet the whole thing, though, to get the one. You want to maximize that bonus. So you want to bet the whole $1,250, because if you lose it, they're going to give you back $1,250, another bet for $1,250.
Right.
So that's the best way to do it. If you have a limited bankroll and you don't have that kind of money, I guess you can do it. I guess you can do $200 bets if you want, but maximum value, very important. I would deposit and get the maximum value. Caesars $1,250, no sweat first bet on FanDuel for up to $1,000. BetMGM $1,000 risk-free bet. DraftKings deposit bonus up to $1,000. Bet Rivers $500. I can go on and on and on.
Let me ask you this: would you rather see them bet that whole $1,250 on a dog, also on like a money line dog?
Now it matters what your bankroll is, believe it or not, because you actually should bet.
Right?
Somehow you know this.
It's a free shot at
you should actually
bonus
bet
round.
a money line dog.
Right.
You should bet something like
take a shot
anywhere from plus 150 to 200, something like that. You should bet a money line dog on that. You're absolutely right. Very good.
I'm learning, Bill.
No.
I'm learning.
You had to hear that.
Do I get a diploma?
You had to hear that from me.
No.
Come on. I don't usually tell no one that, but that's where you're supposed to bet. You're supposed to bet a money line dog with that money. But yeah, these bonuses here that they have and different different states. You click on the legal states. There's promo codes, Sportsbooks, and then you can go literally back to the articles that I talk about every week on here. The latest World Cup predictions. I'm not a World Cup guy. Sorry, guys. You can read on WSN the World Cup stuff. I'm not really. I know it's a big sport. Everyone, and by the way, the casinos are packed with World Cup people. So I see them screaming and yelling at the soccer games. You can go to there's some NFL expert picks, predictions, and bonus articles there. NBA, also state by state. Also, you can get all of our podcast on WSN.com. And then you can go to the U.S. Sports Betting News, which I like. I always talk about it every week. And by the way, when I'm saying this, I'm kind of going fast. There's updated articles every single week. There's not many sites. I can't name another one that has so many new, fresh articles every single week on everything I've been talking about. So there is articles on the U.S. Sports Betting News, which I like to see what's going on. South Carolina legislator proposes a constitutional amendment to legalize sports betting. Let me see if the Bible Belt gets sports betting there. That'll be giant.
That would be
Myrtle
giant.
Beach having sports betting.
I know.
So there's some articles on that. Maine, Missouri, like I said, Illinois, South Carolina, even one on New Jersey. There's different things going on there. Look at everything that like I said, you'll be shocked how much stuff is on this site, WSN.com.
That was well said. You know, I had lunch with a guy that's high up the chain at Penn Gaming a couple days ago. I've known him about 15 years. And he's moving to Missouri. He's based here now, but he's moving to Missouri to run one of their properties over there. And he was telling. I asked, "Do you guys have a sports book there?" He's like, "No, it's tough, but Missouri's trying. Missouri wants it." He's like, "The teams, I guess, are very influential in lobbying for it too.
They'll get it.
Cardinals want it, and he said there's one guy that just is bought and paid for by the slot."
Wow.
People.
Wow.
Or does that am I saying that right?
I mean, it could be. Politics are involved in every state here. You know, listen, probably one of the best scenes I can tell you, and trust me, it kind of still works that way. Like this town here, even though it's big, multi-billion-dollar corporations, it's still a cowboy town.
Yeah.
There's still some major people that run this town.
Like that scene in Casino?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mr. Rothstein, you people will never know how it works in here. You're all just our guests.
Yep.
That's what he says.
Yep.
And you can bet that's the way it is.
Still happens. Yeah.
Really. That's just, this town is, I mean, they named the airport after Harry Reid. I don't get it.
Right.
That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into politics.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into who's what here. It's just, if people really knew the true stories of what went on here years ago, it's in Casino, they said at the beginning, Robert De Niro says it, he says, back home they'd be putting us in jail for this.
Right.
Here they're giving me awards.
Right.
They're still doing it.
Yeah.
They're naming airports after people.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Let me ask you this. As the year winds down, do you now look at your totals where you're at on your own scoreboard, or does it not matter? It doesn't matter.
Having a winning year, of course, again. I mean, I'm not trying to be...
Yeah, no.
I had a winning quarter, which means a winning year. I've had a couple losing months.
Right.
But I'm going to win. I mean,
right.
I pay tax on sports betting win. I don't know anyone else that I can name in the industry that is in media that pays tax on sports betting win every year. Now, I shouldn't say that because I do listen to a podcast. I know he wins for, I do. But it's hard to find anyone in sports betting media that actually wins money betting sports and pays tax. I just paid an estimated quarterly tax that ridiculous. You'll see it. You'll be like, oh my God.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's just however, I don't mind paying the tax because I made the money.
Right.
So
right.
It's hard to find in media though, anyone that does that. And when I see these guys, I know I said it earlier in the show. When I see these guys and girls that are giving out stuff that have no clue. They're talking about things they don't even know what it means. Right. They don't even know what it means. They just heard it from someone else, right. And let me use that on air.
Right.
They don't even know, and they couldn't win with tomorrow's newspaper, as I said.
Right.
They're just in the sports betting media. It's a new space, and they join the space because they think it's a big thing for them. Meanwhile, a guy like myself that's been doing this for 25 years, now this is an accepted space, and I joined the space.
Yeah.
But these people joined the space because they were talking sports, and now they can talk sports betting because it's legal, and it's accepted, and it's social, and it's fun. But they have to have some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Put your money up and then talk about it.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Well, this was good, Bill. I like this. I like fired up, Bill.
I'm fired up.
I like fired up, Bill. What fired you up?
Probably you. We'll see you guys next week.
That's a good one to end on. Next week on Wise Kracks.